Date like a boss. From today, I want you to date like a boss. What do I mean when I tell you date like a boss? You all know what bosses stand for: power, authority, supremacy, order, character, first place positions, topmost top bosses are heads. So when I tell you to date like a boss, I want you to shake down the tail mentality, the last place positions, the positions of indifference, the positions of nonchalance, the places of insignificance. To date like a boss is to take the first place positions and understand that you are the prize. But before then, if you want to learn how to date like a boss, I want you to stay with me, stick by me. At the end of the video, you will have learned a lesson that you cannot learn from any school, dead or alive. So date like a boss. If you're watching us for the very first time, this is the Matchmaker Show. We help men and women to get matches. We also enlighten them from time to time, because to be informed is to be transformed, and to be uninformed is to be deformed. Otherwise, the more enlightened you are on any subject matter, the greater the level of command you gain. So subscribe to this channel, hit the subscribe button, enable the notifications bell, give us a like on this video, and let us know where you're watching us from. Now, in most cases, people have decided to take the second place positions, the third, the fourth, and whatever number, ignoring the first place positions is a point of priority. It narrows down to one thing: low self-esteem. It narrows down to one person not being able to understand that they matter, not being able to understand that their first place positions are always there, but if they are not interested, those positions just stay there. And I have seen people compromise big time, ending up with people they would not have wanted to end up with, ending up in a relationship or in an arrangement that threatens their very being of an individual. If you try to date somebody and you realize that the person you're trying to date is giving you negative energy more than positive energy, you're not dating like a boss. If you start dating somebody and you realize that you're ending up drained more than you came, you're not dating like a boss. To date like a boss is to understand that the dating scene is somebody that's supposed to give you, is some place that's supposed to give you value, is a place that is supposed to give you comfort, a place that is supposed to make you better, a place that is supposed to improve the quality of your life. If that relationship, if that thing you call love, if that thing you call a relationship does not improve the quality of your life, that means one thing: you're not dating like a boss. And most people do not understand the dimensions of dating like a boss. And at the end of the video, I want to give you a pedigree combination of dating properly and dating right. Those are two different things that sound the same. I will explain. When you want to date right, you want to date the right way. You want not to compromise. You want to make sure that you have dated a person that is supposed to be dated, and the standard you have followed is the correct standard, is the correct procedure. I have seen people who maybe fell into the abyss of intimacy on the first date. Believe it or not, that relationship is dead on arrival. So when you're dating right, you're supposed to ensure that you are dating the right way. You're following procedure, protocol. You want to know whether the other person is interested in marriage. Because how come the first date of a relationship ends up in the wounds? The first date of a relationship does not give you priority to discuss marriage matters. And you know marriage is forever. The person does not want to discuss marriage, and you also don't want to discuss marriage. You don't want to discuss the future, maybe because of instant gratification. You are not dating like a boss. To date like a boss means that you hold the end while you have the beginning at hand. You have planned, you have strategy. This is where the relationship will end. This is what I have envisioned about this relationship. This is what I have planned to see at the end. This is what I want towards the end of the relationship. There will be milestones along the way, but what is the end goal? What are the goals and objectives? What is my main agenda? What is the aim? If the aim is not to settle down, to live happily ever after you are not dating like a boss. I don't know who told people that the more you date many people and the more you probably taste them, the better you become. Nothing can be further from the truth. That is a very erroneous misconception about relationships and marriage, because you see, in every relationship, in every arrangement, there are winners and losers. If you commit yourself the wrong way, you become the loser, irrespective of whether you're a man or woman, gender notwithstanding. If you commit yourself the wrong way, you are the loser. And nobody wants to be the loser. Do you want losers? Can I see by a show of hand? Nobody wants to be a loser. I don't want to be a loser. You neither don't. So I want you to understand that dating like a boss is a standard you set. And until you set that standard, the other person cannot reciprocate. It is a standard you give yourself. There is no intimacy before marriage, for instance, no investments before marriage, no sharing money before marriage. I have seen people swindled because they don't have a standard. For instance, you realize that maybe somebody is asking you for nudes, and you are very, very sure that this arrangement, if we start like that, how you start determines how you end. And how sure are you if the person is asking you for nudes? How sure are you the person is not asking for nudes from a different person? I hope I'm making sense. Okay? So, on what level, on what gear did you start the relationship with? Did you have a standard? Because dating like a boss narrows down to one thing: having a standard that cannot be compromised whatsoever, a standard that cannot be pushed away. You cannot wish away that standard, because it's a very important ideal, it's a very important moral standing. That standard, dating like a boss. You see, bosses end up as winners. You've watched even these athletic matches. You've watched football, for instance. Maybe you're a fan of Manchester United, a fan of Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, name any other team. And all those teams, you realize that in a game where we have a team and only 11 players are on one side, we have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people following, both physically and virtually. These are fans. They never become winners. You see, we can win because maybe I associate myself with a certain team, but the real win belongs to the players. The real win belongs to the founders and the managers, the people who matter. You need to take yourself to a standard where you matter, where you cannot be taken for granted. Because being taken is one thing, and being taken for granted is another thing altogether. But it all narrows down to one thing: are you dating like a boss? Because bosses are never taken for granted. Bosses are not never taken for granted. You should never be taken for granted. Somebody is dating you for 3 years, 4 years, and you don't even know where the relationship is headed to. There are no concrete plans of the future. You don't ask questions, do you? Bosses ask questions. Where are we headed? After this, then what? You know? And at the end of the day, you're able to assess, am I making progress? So that time is moving and progress is not happening. You don't want a place where you're just stagnant. You're dating somebody like Julie for 9 years. 9 years. Even pregnancy lasts for 9 months. Even if the child will not be born, you will know after 9 months. Even if it was a miscarriage, you will know. Even if the child becomes a stillbirth, you will know 9 months, so that you can organize what you're going to do next. If the child comes, which is the hope of everyone, we celebrate. The child starts getting nurtured, they grow, and the mother can even prepare if they want to get another child, you know. But 9 years you're dating one person. Are you dating like a boss? What is the standard? What are you looking up to? You're waiting for somebody who went abroad. This is the 4th year. And what do they say? Nitakuja. Wewe ningojee tu. Tunajua hatuna haraka. Women have a biological time clock. Don't wait to expire when somebody is just putting you up there. And you know, a man, let's assume you are 30 and the man is 30. Even if he stays for another 10 years, he will not struggle to get a child unless he has a complication. But you might. But waiting for him for 10 years, aye, are you dating like a boss? Let me know whether some of these lessons are making sense and whether you'll be interested in more of this, because you'll be getting more of this on our podcast. Until then, remember to tell us where you're watching us from. Hit that subscribe button, enable the notifications bell, like this video, and share. You can actually share this podcast on WhatsApp. You can share on your WhatsApp status to your groups, to your family and friends, and we'll become a bigger, better family. Until then, this is Jenga Njero. Follow us at a personal level on Facebook at Jenga Njero, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.